Well, we just here, wherever you are in on Facebook, probably we are here this great great day, Sean America. I want to say happy July 4th to all Americans, to the president and the vice president, the speaker of the House of Representatives, the Senate, and the government of the United States of America, and to all residents and well witches everywhere in America. You are most welcome wherever you are, and it's a pleasure being here today to just talk about a little bit about uh, domestic violence and trafficking and at the Share Hope Foundation. The Share Hope Foundation is a foundation in the United States, 501c3. And as we look at the work of the CEO, which is Dr. Smile, her testimony and some of the things that she went through during the time of her life, and what drove her passion, and what is also driving our passion as we uh, take a part in working to help in changing society. And today, I just as a test, this is like a test there, wherever you are, is we trying to test our this whole live streaming both on Facebook and on YouTube. But we are here to say to those of us who are listening and who will listen to the sound of our voice that you know, as we talk about this whole thing about trafficking and domestic violence, is more than just talking. Is about how we can begin to raise awareness. And the Share Hope Foundation, USA, the Share Hope Foundation Liberia, the Share Hope Foundation Believe, and other countries will be actually giving time to talk about some of the things that we need to talk about. And it's going to be more or less a kind of time in our presentation to speak to more people and talk to more people about the world domestic violence, which is a crime, and trafficking, which also is a crime. And you can see that traffic, even in America or all the place, people that are going through domestic violence, the fact that they found themselves into a relationship, and well, the relationship is might not end well. The fact remains, as we go about these kind of awareness, the Share Hope Foundation USA, it's going to be reaching out there to you guys. And our passion to be part of the Share Hope Foundation is about what we have in our mind and what we've been doing. And if you look at the word domestic violence or abuse, many people are in abused marriages or relationship. Many people in even in Liberia are going through domestic violence, and well, some government officials take advantage of people and think they go away with it because well, they don't have the money. And where trafficking comes in is we have more than trafficking in these days. We have people being trafficked. They might not think that they are trafficked, but they have been trafficked due to the way they are placed. Probably in our country, Liberia, especially when you look at the way the country is going through a constraint, financial constraint. So you will have actually a time where you see people who you expect to behave good, but because of some of the things they went through. You see, domestic violence actually it causes some tremors, and then people need to be de-traumatized. You might not know the issue issues. You might not know the what they're going through. Again, as we talk about this, wonderful day in America, spending all over the place, people are going joyfully, having some time with their family. It is something that we can keep talking about domestic violence, but we can also say to all of us, those of us that in trafficking, we have been trafficked, but we don't know that we are trafficked. And so we are going to be coming up with some information on trafficking, how people are trafficked, and what you should be looking at when you find yourself into different places in the world. And so it's not about just talking. It's not about the relationship you find yourself. It's not about some of the things that you're doing. And all this is all about reaching out there to people who feels that they are threatened, and they cannot speak. Now, for those of us who listen to the Osiniji situation in Nigeria, where the husband is now in jail and the wife have been buried, why you think so? Because she was abused to the but her abuser was her best friend. Her abuser, her husband, was her best friend. Her best friend now become her enemy. And what happens in domestic violence or abuse, you as a man, you might not know all that, you can keep beating on your wife or probably or your husband or whatever relation. And at the end of the day, probably it become a problem. And then the loss of life of one of the partners, it affects the children. As we speak, the children needs help. The children they're going with all a mother, and the children also they can see their father, but it will be because of domestic violence. So domestic violence is a crime, yes. Trafficking is a crime, yes. We see it in the world all over the place, and people are being abused. But these people that are being abused, they stay in those relationships because they don't have any means to go anyway. That was the thing. And so as we expand this message, as we continue in our podcast, we want to say to all of us, those of us in the world today, as we talk about the aspects of domestic violence and trafficking, the Share Hope Foundation USA is going to be extending its vision and work in other countries. But the focus point here in America will be there in Illinois and other states, talking about how we can reach people with this education, human rights education. And you can be somewhere, probably because of intimidation. You could be somewhere, probably somebody is doing something that you may not understand, that you honor abuse. And domestic abuse is a crime. That person have committed a crime, so they're not going to allow you to leave, or probably to expose them. And so those are some of the things you need to think about. And those perpetrators, those who like to abuse people, it is also your own good, that Share Hope Foundation, the United States Institute, whatever institution that is trying to bring you the message, and it is in your interest. Okay, you might be thinking that, I'm doing the right thing. Nobody have power. I can do anything, but you forget to know that things can change, and you got to think that it's a crime. That should be at the back of your mind. That when you're arrested, when the thing come up, you're gonna go to jail. So why can you begin to stop abusing your wife, stop abusing children, stop trafficking? Because you see, what trafficking does is that, if you traffic people professionally, probably you think that people are not looking at you, and you want to use them as a shield, or probably to get money, and go away with it. Because what? You take advantage because of the economic constraint in our country, Liberia, and other countries. So you bring those information to the people, that you're going to help them. Those of us who go in the rural area in Liberia, in other villages, in other countries, in Belize, and other countries, to look for people who are suffering, and think that you give them the opportunity that they come to the west, or probably come to Morovia, and then you'll be able to help them up. And well, you took those children and you are there, you think that you're doing right for yourself. Well, we want to say to you that it is time for us to begin to forget about these things, because it's a crime. And to our government, and the people of Liberia, then, as we expound and begin to do the right thing, I think people will begin to look at us as a responsible government. You look at the cross sections of people, maybe the well-being and other things that are going on. Now, for the Sharehold Foundation, the Children of System Rescue Mission Liberia, Sharehold Foundation Liberia, is going to be actually in an active move to work. And in the soon near future, the CEO, the founder of the Sharehold Foundation, in presence of Dr. Smart, will be coming to Liberia, along with some other guests like Dr. Speak, who probably has expressed time going to Liberia. We have Otto Schiller, we have Ria Coloni. Ria Coloni will talk one time, and yes, she have interest. And those are people that are potentially able to help in changing and shifting the destiny of the people by teaching them human rights, education. And I respect them because of the work they do. The assist mentor from in Florida, a lot of people that we are connecting to. And Christianity is relationship. As a kingdom citizen, I don't have a border. Okay, that means I'm not tied to Liberia. Liberia is my country, is where I was born. I'm a Liberian, and well, my nationality does not make, even though dual citizenship, whatever. But the point that is, as a Liberian, I believe in the voice of the people, and I believe in the people because it is the people that will take the nation over. So that's what I'm talking about yesterday, fathers, and talking about our good fathers in the church. And many of us, as we listen to the podcast, we want to get involved with many men who are the more perpetrators of domestic violence. And we're coming with that campaign. We want for more men to get involved. And like my friend, he too, Dr. Ogongo, who is Reverend, he's a Reverend. He's been here in the state, and we've been talking. There are a lot of people. Dr. Bishop Wooley was a very nice people, and there are a lot of people who have the passion to drive things and to make things happen. So we want to say to all of us that those of us who are listening to the sound of my voice on this fourth day of July, which is a very nice day in the independent of the United States of America, one of the greatest country in the world. And we say, God bless America, and America should continue to shine because of the work and the levels of the freedom they gave people, to build up their life. And I want to buttress like the efforts of the Congress that actually brought Athena, and there are a lot of great things that people don't understand that God could do in the wake of the life of people. Okay, and when we respect government, in other words, not because we want to pop them on the back. No, you respect government because that's what the Bible says. Okay, and government needs to respect the citizen. Okay, so all this today, we talk about domestic violence, we talk about trafficking in Liberia. We need to take authority and not thinking about just government. Well, we need to take authority as citizens of our country. In America, the same thing. We need to take authority over our communities. Okay, and if you look at trafficking and domestic violence, if you look at the statistic, which we're going to be coming up, I think this week, of even officers and people of government, security people that suffer from this domestic violence, and some of them lose their life only because they want to save somebody. So we need to understand that why would we keep being Buddha to our spouse, or the one we say is our best friend. So let us drive it. And the passion we have to do what we are doing here, we we don't want to impress you, but we want to say to all of us that let us join together to make the world a better place. That's the message today. And if we can join together to make the world a better place, on the community level, on the district level, on the county level, and then the nation actually benefits. Okay, so again, we are talking about domestic violence, and as a shareholder foundation, look at the future to propagate whatever message we have. It's not about it will never be the politics. It's going to be of advocacy. It's going to be more or less engaging people around table discussion. It's going to be reaching people with donations. It's going to be talking about how people who are been left on the other side of the road, how can we reach them? And not we alone, but those of us who have the passion, because Shareable Foundation is just one institution. But with your help, we can make a big difference. Okay, and your dollar or your or whatever amount can help to shift the destiny of a child. And the Shareable Foundation is going to be talking to more people and making sure that whatever we do, whatever we talk, we must walk. And we're talking, preaching yesterday, walk the talk. Okay, and walking the talk, we mean teaching and then mothering. So we are not just going to be talking about domestic violence and trafficking just because we want to say it. No, we're going to be talking about domestic violence and trafficking, and then work towards how we can create more awareness, how we can reach more audience, how we can develop. And that's why we are testing this restream today as we continue to connect others to the Facebook, to the YouTube. Now we are connected to YouTube and Facebook. And wherever we are, and we need to get enlarged in our territory when it comes to, in fact, trade. I'm on trade, and the next test will also be on trade. So I want to say to all of us that those of us who are listening to the sound of my voice, it is a pleasure being here today, and have a good day. And Americans, wherever you are, have a good July 4th and independent, and say, shine America, God bless America, God bless you. Thank you.